possibly then you should go live then. Or something will go live, so let's do it and see what happens. I don't think it's me, it should just be you. I'm going to go onto the page and see what happens. It says we're live now.
We can't see anything though.
No, there's a black screen. But you're on, volume-wise you're on.
Oh, can you hear us?
No, there's a black screen. Oh, they can hear us as well, this is weird.
Oh, can you hear us?
And me.
Right.
Hello everybody. Something weird's going on.
Right, okay.
Right, I tell you what, I'm going to press the music and stuff and we'll start as if it's a normal show, shall we?
Yeah.
And just kind of see what happens, okay? Hi guys. Weird.
Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show.
Yeah, none of the
Here's
sound
your
of my end
hosts,
can be heard.
Lucy,
So.
Chris, and Hugh. Gosh.
Right. None of the sound that's playing from my
And
computer
now,
can be heard except for me.
Disneyland
So it's
Paris
strange
Show.
and weird. Hello everybody. But I guess we should just go on and tell the new stuff and forget about the sounds and things because I don't think any.
The return of Rhythms of the Pride Lands will return to Frontier Theatre the 23rd of October, along with the controversial Guaranteed Access scheme.
Chaos hits Newport Bay Club as custodial and cleaning staff exercise union rights and go on strike.
Chaos hits 37 Disney Street, but also a music album, The Best of Disneyland Paris, is now available to stream and purchase on various online platforms.
And finally, the Laugh and Go food truck is now selling Laughing Cow pumpkin soup.
Ooh.
Hi there, ho there, Disney pals. Thank you so much for joining us on this rather strange Sunday night. Once again, technology has seemed to have defeated us as far as the YouTube live stream is concerned, but at least we're getting a podcast out to go. The darndest thing, technology we've used dozens of times before, simply didn't do its thing. That's the only thing we can say.
Yeah,
Big
it's
race
2 weeks in
screen.
a row. We've just got bitrate issues, problems with the software that streams it, problems with YouTube, problems with everything that we can possibly have problems with. I'm gonna have to work to get it fixed so that when we're hopefully back together next week and you're no longer isolating, we can do an actual show.
So that's the other excuse me, piece of news is that Hugh and I did indeed test positive on PCR tests earlier this week. So we've both been in full isolation this week, and so has Bonnie. So we've not left our wing of 37 Disney Street. Just as Chris was able to emerge from his wing, we got trapped in ours. But hopefully, again, all this will be sorted fairly soon, and we can come back to our familiar surroundings all together in our doom buggies and such like to record a regular show. But for now, let's get going with what we do have on the slate, because Hugh's still trying to figure out some technology and I'm trying not to be distracted. So, given all the problems we've had this week, both personally, socially and technologically, we haven't got a fully formed discussion for you today. So it's going to be, we're answering your questions in a totally unprepared and slapdash version of Ask Us Anything. So get those out in the chat, because we will be chatting about anything you want to chat about.
We can see the chat.
Nobody asks questions. I have a few up my sleeve that I'd like to ask the boys. Now then, but before that, we talk about the news. So, the Rhythm of the Pride, I wrote this terribly, the Rhythms of the Pride Lands, 2 S's in there, is coming back to Frontier Theatre. We already knew that, but what kind of got bombshelled into the Disney community, this was last week, but we didn't have a show last week either, is they've now got this guaranteed access scheme, and it's already showing up on the app. So basically, it's €15 to book a seat so that you don't have to queue. Now, if ever you've queued for summer shows at the Frontierland Theatre, it's very much, you're not queuing for the next show, you're queuing for the show after that, because the queues get so long. It's a 1,000-seater theatre, and the queue will go right down to Pocahontas's playground, and at that point there'll be a cast member saying, "You're now queuing for the 4:30 show," and it's like 12:30. It's a bit bonkers. So they're putting aside 200 out of the 1,000 seats, so that's basically a fifth of the theatre, for paying customers, basically. So it's €15 per seat. Now, just on top of this, I have to mention there is still, and there has always been, 23 seats for MasterCard holders. This goes back, well, as long as I've been going to Disneyland Paris and covering stuff like this at Disneyland Paris, they've always had these 20 seats for MasterCard holders. You go to, what do we call it, guest relations. I think it's for platinum card holders, not just your regular bank card kind of thing. And you just get a seat sorted out. So they're still there. But how do we feel about this, Chris?
It seems like another thing that we have to pay for on top of what we've already paid for again. Doesn't it just feel like more of the same? It seems to be hitting us constantly at the moment, and it's getting a bit frustrating, really, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think I tweeted this. I felt quite strongly about it. Oh, we're here. Oh, at least me and Hugh are here.
Oh, good. But you can still hear me, so that's quite good, isn't it?
Chris, I think what it was I think the camera was being used for Zoom.
Yes, that's yes, because the camera hasn't disappeared on my screen. Fantastic.
Yeah. So hang on, I'll resize us. So
Excuse
Chris is currently just a dismembered voice.
A disembodied voice.
But I am here, I assure you. I can go if you want. Do you want me to go?
No. We like your input. We need that. It's like talking to God. I think I put this on Twitter. Is the thing that I've been trying to put my finger on for a couple of years now, what it is that rankles me about this kind of nickel and diming. And that is Disney are blurring the lines about what's included in the park ticket and what isn't. And I feel like anything that is included in the park ticket is verging on a human right. It's a Disney right. Once you're there, you have a right to that thing. To then start upselling things that are already in that ticket it feels grubby, quite frankly. And so it's, if you can see the show but you have to queue, them's the breaks, I can accept it. But you can see this show but you either have to queue or give me €15. Feels like extortion. It feels like actual handout, eyebrow wiggling extortion, and I really don't like, and anything that's like that annoys me. I don't mind them charging for parking at the hotels. I mean, I do, but I'm like, oh, well, we get a choice. We can take the bus or take the car. If we take the car, we have to pay. That kind of thing. But when it's something you feel like you've already paid for and that should be included, it really tastes bad to me. It really does.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I guess the only thing that I can maybe possibly comfort myself with is that this isn't aimed at me. As far as I'm concerned, I look at this and I think it's not aimed at me. I would just queue. If I want to see something, I'll go and queue for it. I'm not paying extra money for that. I've already spent, on this holiday in the first place. So it's not aimed at me. It's aimed at those people who like to throw money at any situation, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it?
I mean, like, you put your finger on it when you said we've all paid amount, because Disney does cost that amount, But I wouldn't do it on just blooming principle. I would queue in the rain and the snow with my arms folded and a sour look on my face rather than give them this money. It's so just mean. Fast passes, well, at Disneyland Paris, same thing. I just wouldn't for that reason. This Walt Disney World thing where it's $15 for the whole day to do fast passes. I don't want to do it, but I have a feeling we might do a couple of days, but I don't want to.
That's preferable to just, going, don't like the look of this queue, let's pay $10 to skip it. I don't like that.
Because that can really snowball as well. Because if you do it for that 50-minute queue and then you go to another ride you want to go on and there's a 75-minute one for that and you're like, oh, well, we did it on that other one and then we do that. Let's just pay and then we can do it. You don't want to start dipping your toe in that water, really, do you?
Or you end up in that whole situation of, right, we've got this much to spend, therefore we have to decide how we're going to use that money wisely to be able to get the best out of it. And it just becomes that, like, that's not the kind of hassle you need on a holiday, is it?
No. And we do go with a budget. We load up our Revolut cards and that's how much spending money we've got. So if we're spending it on rides, we're not going to buy an ice cream. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we've got ever-expanding wallets that some people might have. Cheryl says the same as me. She says, I would never pay extra just out of principle, and I don't like to feel I've been robbed. I can get
agreed.
that. Mark Riley says, is Tanga what the NHS is prescribing now? The thing is, well, it matches.
Well, yeah, Lucy, listeners, is dressed entirely in orange. I'm in quite an orangey top. In fact, the only thing orange on this table is this pumpkin that I've carved, which is actually yellow.
Yeah, just to break up the orangeness a bit.
Got a yellow pumpkin on the go.
The thing with the tango is I've lost my sense of taste and smell, and fizzy drinks have got texture, but this doesn't have caffeine in it, just a lot of sugar. So it's something that feels nice on my tongue when I can't taste anything, basically. So there you go. Fun.
I'm not wearing orange, just for those of you who wondered.
I wish you were. You could tell them you are. They wouldn't know.
I could be wearing whatever I like today if I'm not there for the cameras. It's quite nice.
I bet there's a way of adding you in here, isn't there, that I don't know how to do yet?
No, it'd involve you downloading the software that isn't working very well at my end to be able to do that. But do you know what's really good, though, listeners, dear listeners, is that we now have another laptop that this is working on. So we actually have a backup plan now, don't we?
Oh, this one, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the live stream.
So when we're back together, we've got a backup plan. We've got a way around these things. But on this occasion,
that's what took the time. By the way, viewers, is this usually all happens at Chris's end, and we just point the camera at ourselves and show up. But we had to start the live stream because there was issues going on. Mark Riley has been kind enough to give me a segue into the next news item. He says, question, we're going to DLP on Tuesday, staying at Newport Bay Club.
Yes.
Should we bring our own sheets? Yes. And do we pack our swimming trunks? Okay, the swimming trunks is a different question.
Pack your own bed, mate.
I was going to say, the sheets, I believe, is a reference to the fact that the caretaking staff, custodial staff, cleaning staff, have exercised their union rights and they've gone on strike. Now, I know we have international listeners. Here in the UK, we have a very robust labour and union-led society. France take it to a different level. Their labour unions are like rock solid over there. They can get anything they want. They can strike whenever they want. We've been stranded. Well, we were actually stranded in Spain, but because French air traffic control went on strike. You've been stranded in France because of a transport strike, haven't you, Chris?
No, it wasn't a transport strike. It was snow.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I know people have been stranded because of Eurostar strikes, and they do like. Oh, do you remember when the actual in-park cleaning staff striked? And
Stroke.
And somebody, presumably one of the picketers, emptied all the bins onto Fantasia Gardens, and it looked like a scene from 28 Days Later or something. There was just litter everywhere. It was quite disturbing. They know how to do it. Anyway, I mean, good on them, because it was down to not being paying fair wages compared to other hotel cleaning staff in the area, from what I can gather. And if that's the case, you flex, mate, you flex. But the bottom line was there was a lot of guests, a lot of guests whose rooms were not ready when they checked in. They weren't offered alternate hotels. The rooms were... I don't know what happened really in the end. They were all just stranded in the lobby. And then there were people marching up and down outside, and the lobby was like full. I did see somebody who got in their room and got a free gift. I don't know if that was universally happening. I don't know how they resolved it, but it was chaos. You had your eyes on this, Chris, because you had to... I think I was working, and you messaged me saying, this is crazy what's going on at MPP.
Yeah, but I only spotted it because somebody, it might have been Mark actually, I can't remember, somebody mentioned it in the live chat when all hell broke loose last week on the show.
Oh.
But we said, oh, it's good, it's a slow news week, and then that happened.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, wasn't it? But Yeah, in all honesty, I've not seen a lot of it. You've told me more than I knew about it. So.
It's been a to-do. It's been a
It has.
to-do. But this is a third party. This is a third party company, not Disney. I think everyone needs to know that. It does not look good when you're turning up to a Disney hotel and this is happening. However, this is a law of nature to them. They really don't have the power to deal with this. It has to be the third party vendors, unfortunately. And just a little glimpse into French politics for you, because it's a wild ride over there, I don't mind telling you.
People asking how we are in the chat. I'm on my last day of isolation today already.
I've got 3 more days
and
left.
I've just got a cough left and I can't taste or smell anything. But other than that, I'm feeling, 90% there.
Well, if anybody cares, I'm feeling a lot better now. It it was a little horrible at the time, like when I was where you were, and then I had a week and a half of feeling okay, and then I felt absolutely rotten last week. I got real pains in my my chest and back, but I think my lungs were exhausted, and I've started running again because I'm doing a 10K on next Sunday, a week today. I'm doing a 10K race, and I started running again. It seems to just cleared everything up. So I think just watch yourself and make sure you're doing at least light exercise and things when you get going again, because I think it has a real impact on your vital organs.
I'm supposed to be walking to work in a few days' time, but I think
You're not though, are you?
I think I might take it easy.
And I dance for a living, Chris. So that's
Yes, you do.
that's a bit tricky. We'll see how we go. But yeah, no, we're all double vaccinated, and it did hit me harder than I thought it would be in double vaccinated, because I had 2 days of really high temperature that kept coming and going. But all in all, we've recovered quite quickly and quite well at our end. I think you did as well, Chris, but I'm worried about what you say about the 10 days
it's
later.
just. I think when a lot of people have said this as well, it does seem to kind of flow and little bits of it come back. None of it's as bad as it was in that sort of 3 or 4 days when it was horrible. But it does tend to, little bits of it seem to come back for whatever reasons, which is just a bit frustrating, really, isn't it?
I will just...
It's inconvenient.
It's
Yeah,
not...
a bit of a pain in the bum.
The COVID show or anything like that, but I just kind of want to alert people to how weird it was at the beginning. I had in my mind that if ever it happened to us, one of us would get ill, we'd go, those symptoms look like COVID, we'd all get tested, and that would be how we found out. But it didn't work that easily, because Bonnie's had a cold for like 3 weeks. I'd had a really heavy week at work and I was shattered, got a bit of a headache, thought I'd just worked too hard. Then we heard that some of Hugh's colleagues had got it, and you were like, I feel a little bit under the weather, I'll get a test. And then that's kind of how we found out. But
Yeah.
I'd been to 2 big events with work like over the weekend, and I feel really awful about it now, because I've been a bit about people going out there spreading COVID and why aren't they lateral flowing and all. My lateral flows were negative every single day.
Mine too.
Laura's were as well. And I, when I did mine, I had a test on the Thursday, and it was clean. And it's only because, I think I said before, it's only because my parents are coming around on the Friday. I thought, well, I feel a bit wrong, but I'll just do a test anyway, so I can just say to them that I've done one, and then I've covered my own back, and it was positive. And then Ollie's was positive as well. Lucas's and Laura's both were negative though, and again, it's different degrees of, like, afterwards. Because I'm interested in these things, and we had a lot of lateral flows left over. We've all done tests kind of during and since as well, to see if it kind of fades off a bit or if it changes. But it's so changeable and it's different. I guess it depends on the swabbing that you get and everything as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So be very, very vigilant with yourself, guys, and get PCR tests as soon as you feel anything, because I have a feeling that I was a couple of days late getting mine, and I feel guilty about that. Anyway, what else did we talk about? Oh, so something we've all been, please Disney, please, they've released a in-parks music album online to stream now, the best of Disneyland Paris. Now, I've bought CDs in the park in the past. They do release them periodically, but it's been a while since they've released one, and I don't know if I'm correct in saying this is the first one that's gone straight to the streaming sites, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music,
I guess-
etc.
I guess the music of the Art of Marvel Hotel went there first a couple of weeks ago, didn't it?
It
Um,
did.
So I know there are some Disney park stuff on Amazon Music, for instance, but there wasn't a great deal, and there seems to have been a bit of push for that recently. I jumped straight on there to see what was on it, and I was mightily disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
The first 5 tracks at least are not from Disneyland Paris, which is strange.
And not from rides that exist in Disneyland Paris either.
No,
It's a bit weird.
They are tagged as like Toontown. And we're like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what they're doing on there. But there is a fair few that are from Disneyland Paris. They've got like the Halloween ones. They've got some background music from Frontierland. I won't have a look now, but there is some good stuff on there.
No Viva La Vie, though.
No, there isn't.
No,
I think that might have been on a previous one. I need to look back at my old CDs.
You can stream that song, so it is there somewhere.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. But it's always nice to have on in the background and when driving, when trapped in your house. I haven't seen daylight in 7 days, so...
It's a bit more the Disneyland Paris, whatever it is, choir or whatever. So it's a lot more of the like the parade type music is the stuff that's actual Paris. The other things, the more sort of incidental music and things are all things that aren't in Disneyland Paris, or if they are, it's coincidental, or it's parts of the same sort of locations that exist in other parks as well. So yeah, if you want the actual Disneyland Paris stuff, it's all right. If you want it for the parade music and those elements, for me, I'd listen to that less in the background. I'm more interested in the ambience.
Yeah. David Wilson saying the Fantasyland Dark Ride medley has Alice in Wonderland on it. I was well confused.
I noticed that as well.
I didn't get that. Well confused. Love Frontierland though. Yeah.
Isn't it weird that like the people putting this together no less than like your average fan, your average park guest is going, what's this doing on here? Like why is that? They're just not paid due diligence and just like had someone who knows what they're doing.
It might be copyright issues, but they must own everything they play in the park.
I don't know, but the Alice in Wonderland stuff was there not because it's Disneyland Paris, but because there's an Alice in Wonderland ride in California or whatever, isn't there? And it's that music. It wasn't the stuff you get in the maze. In the labyrinth. It was music from the Dark Ride. So it has no place there. It has no place on a Disneyland Paris
Billy
musical
Bonkers.
compilation.
Billy Bonkers. And then finally, are we all excited? Laugh and Go food truck is now selling Laughing Cow pumpkin soup. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we always talk about how mild Laughing Cow is as a cheese. Mm-hmm. Pumpkin is quite a strong and distinctive flavour, and when it's souped, it is usually spiced pumpkin of some kind. I'm going to guess your Laughing Cow is just...
Instead of spice.
It's just base. It's just thickener.
It's a cream.
It's thickener, isn't it? Because I can't imagine
sounds good.
Tasting Laughing Cow in a pumpkin soup.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
Cheesy
sound
pumpkin-y soup.
unnice.
With a splash of ketchup.
Unnice.
It's got
With
like
a splash of ketchup.
You know, on no, not even MasterChef. You know when they put like a little circle of mint sauce on top of a soup or something, or a little.
Oh, you see, that's what I thought the Laughing Cow would be. That makes more sense
no,
to me.
no. The
What's
Laughing Cow's
in it.
But the ketchup, and it's actually described as ketchup, it's just got a little...
Do you get a sachet like when you have a pot noodle?
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
I love it. I want them to keep going with this. I want it to be a real sort of like selling point of how extreme can we get with these Laughing Cow themed snacks. How...
You want the ludicrous.
Unexpected and incongruous can
It's
they
like
be?
a joke, isn't it? It's Laughing Cow stuff. It's like a joke. Did I say that last time?
Laughing Cow
It's just
rice
like-
pudding with apricot compote.
We
that
definitely said it's
sounds good.
mock-up.
That sounds great.
But it's the Laughing Cow element that's so... And I've just got Monica in my head going, now the quantities in these recipes may seem very small.
Right here, right now, I think we should start calling it Laughing Stock. I think that would be fair.
Oh no. Right.
Let's have a laughing cow supper next time you're here, Chris.
That'd be brilliant. Yes, I love it.
I think we should.
I'll bring
if it's
something as well.
Even if it's just triangles, I'm going to get some for next week.
That's amazing.
I'll bring laughing cow banana splits or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just pick three foods, and as long as one of them is laughing cow,
You can make fudge with
just
cheese.
combine them and you can.
You
Yeah,
can.
laughing cow
Again,
fudge.
it needs to be the full fat, because I've done that. I've made fudge with cheese, and you use condensed milk as well sometimes. It needs to be the full fat, thick stuff. I think laughing cow would just in the pan.
Let's start with this one. Says Paper Chase actually have a laughing cow Christmas decoration.
Ooh,
Oh, they will do.
that's
Do you think
Christmas
they will
sorted.
do that? They should do that.
Paper Chase.
Oh, Paper Chase do have one.
Wow. What about the Dole Whip?
A laughing cow Dole
A
Whip.
cheesy Dole
Yeah.
Whip.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy, heaven help me. Come on, chat. What laughing cow snacks do you want to see?
They'll make them, every one of them. I think that'd be quite fun.
I'm surprised they haven't got on the pretzel fondue thing. That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be all right.
Bland.
They just started doing just cheese spread sandwiches.
On crackers. Jacob's crackers with laughing cow. That's how I eat my laughing cow. Right.
The Dunn family said something about 40 more sleeps. Are you going back? Are you going back already?
Really? Cool.
Dazza.
Do we have... Has anyone been making notes of the Ask Me Anything questions? Oh, should Mark Riley take his swimming trunks? I don't know if it's open. But do if you can, I would say.
Well, it's not going to take up much space, is it?
Because the thing is, it's...
Shove 'em in a
People
shoe.
are like, hot summer, we need to go in the swimming pool to cool off. But it also works cold winter, because they are heated swimming pools. It can sometimes be very nice to get in the hot tub or just in the 27-degree swimming pool. You know, when your fingers go all numb, that can be nice. So I would.
Mark's also asking, what time is best to find a mango whip at Café de la Brousse? What time?
Well, before 4 o'clock.
Yeah, before that brief window in Paris has at the moment in which everything is open. Which is
I'd say hit it 12:30 to 1.
Yeah.
Planned maintenance for Disney's Newport Bay Club, 29th of November to the 2nd of December this year, and the 6th to the 10th of June next year. There you go. So it sounds like they are open.
We've had a
Unless they're
suggestion
not.
of a Chewbacca cheese straw. Thing is, it's got, which I love the idea of that, but it does have to have laughing cow in the title, apparently.
Could we replace Nutella in the shortbread?
Yeah, I'm surprised they
be
haven't
fun.
yet. There's some Ursula cheesy biscuits on the go, aren't there?
I bet Nutella and Laughing Cow go well together.
Yeah, they probably would actually. I'm willing to try that, Hugh. We could do that next week.
We could. We've got plenty of Nutella. I've got 2 of those. How big are those jars?
Litre jars. Hang on.
Are they kilogram?
Oh, not the nice ones, not the small ones where you keep the glasses because you're going to drink out of them. Not those ones.
No. She's gone to get it. How big is that? Is that 500?
I
or
can't
is it a
see
kilogram?
what either of you are doing anymore because you turned the camera off. So that
Oh,
you-
sorry.
like,
We did. Well,
It's
Chris,
it's as big as your head
I'm
one.
holding up a 1 kilogram jar of Nutella. £5 is it Iceland?
Oh, please remember everyone's dying
Farm
to know.
foods. £5.
This is fast turning into a different show altogether.
I know. Let's start with this one. It says, question. Have had to move my holiday to February. Is this a good time to go? Chris, you're
I
going in
hope so.
February.
Well, my thinking is this: when we went in October, at the end of October, it was freezing. When we went in December, it was even colder. But I figure the end of, because we're going on the 21st of February, I figure that half term week we've turned a corner there. It's starting to get a little bit lighter. It's going to be a little bit warmer. I think it'll be a good time to go.
They've
That's what I
also,
think.
if you go in half term or at the end and into March, anything that's gone down in the off season in January, excuse me, may well have reopened by then. generally.
Dunn family, shush. I'm not listening to you about February's still cold. No, it's going to be warm. It's going to be warm.
You can
Don't
get
even.
you can get an unseasonably warm February day.
You can.
We once had one. It was 20
years ago.
My parents got married at the end of February, and it was cracking the flags in my mum's words.
2014, and it was so warm that I met Lucy.
How warm
in a
was it?
Beer garden.
There you go.
Was it 2013?
Not for
don't
the
forget-
first time, by the way.
Paris is further south as well, so it's going to be even warmer.
Yeah. David's saying the idea of Nutella and Laughing Cow together is from a man who has clearly lost his sense of taste. I mean, I've not lost memory of taste. It's not like I'm suddenly going, gooseberry and cheese would be nice with a dash of vinegar.
Peanut butter and chocolate spread works, and I imagine that jam and cheese spread would probably work all right.
I'm thinking of this cheese as like a sort of a dessert, like you know, like a cheesecake,
Like frosting,
I
like
reckon
whipping it up with icing sugar and stuff's a bit different.
Yeah, if you
isn't
mix
it?
them together, I think it would be all right. I think
Yeah.
if you spread them separately so that they've still got the individual flavours there, that might not be quite so good.
Who suggested crepes? Sorry, that was the Dunn family.
Yeah.
Dunn family said, I went in February 2018 and got snow. Now that in many ways could be a bonus. However, I think that one day that we were there in January, we had sludgy snow, you know, and it's chunky, sleety rain, and that was not nice.
That has just reminded me. I went in February with work, and we went to the Rainforest Cafe for a meal. We didn't actually go to Disneyland Paris. We were in Paris, so we thought it'd be rude not to at least make a bit of a visit. And that was when I got stuck in the country with the snow problems. But when we got there, it had all finished falling, and there'd been maybe 3 hours of people walking around, and it's just that horrible slushy grey where it doesn't look nice at all. It's just rotten and horrible. So yeah, it could be like that.
Got to make sure you've got your because thing is, when we went last January, my shoes got breached, and this was like the first day, and they were my solid shoes that were going to last me. I had some other ones for if it was dry, but my good ones went on day one. And I was like, what am I going to do? So you got to have the best shoes for that weather, haven't you?
I cannot stress this enough. Those hand warmers that you get in little packets, and then you open the packet and break them. Just take dozens of those. I got a pack of 20 off Amazon, threw them in the case. We all had one in each pocket.
Put them in your pants.
And they're brilliant. Yeah. I was, and then I was getting them out and kind of like
joking.
warming up here. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
happened.
Yeah, put them in your pants.
I'm not, because I was
burns.
putting them in pockets that were thin pockets that were against my leg. And it was so cold when we were there in December and January that it
I'm
was
interested
just
to know
a
about
lifesaver.
I'm interested to know about the environmental impact of those disposable ones, because you can buy ones where you just boil them and you can reuse them, can't you?
Yeah. Maybe worth finding out about.
That was
I
my
don't know.
first thought, actually, when you brought them up.
There we are. But yes, we took those when we went in October and it was freezing, and when we went in December and it was freezing as well. And we'll probably take them in February. I mean, we won't need them because it's going to be really warm.
Yeah.
But just in case the
And you
Dunn
can
family
get-
happen to be right.
Boot warmers, and I highly recommend having a spare pair of shoes and spare pair of socks. Take dry socks in for the reasons Hugh just said. Dry socks in your park bag. You'll thank me. Just saying that. You're welcome, world.
Decent pair of walking boots.
Decent pair of walking boots.
that's
But
well worth
also
it.
have your spare pair of shoes on the radiator or something similar overnight, or for when you get back or something like that, because it's just, there's nothing worse than wet feet. Nothing worse.
What they say.
Lots of layers. Yeah, layers are the key, aren't they?
Mark Chester's back from Lanzarote.
Oh.
Ah, very nice.
So he apologised.
He's always
for being
somewhere,
late.
aren't you, Mark?
He is. He's always jetting off somewhere. Yeah. What else?
Darren Dunn is saying, I did send pics. Also, fell over on the bridge to Santa Fe and broke 2 ribs. When was this? Recently? Or was this
in
another
February, I
time
think
when
it
you
said
went in
2018.
February?
Feb 2018.
Surprised you ever went back.
When did I? That would be when I was there, actually. That would have been when I was there in the village on February 2018. It'd been the same snow I imagine.
Yeah, it says 2018.
Yeah, there we are.
Cheryl
Right.
says, I've only ever done
what?
Disney in winter. I love wrapping up and I don't like it to be too warm.
Mm.
I mean, no one likes it too warm.
I've
But
got, yeah.
I think I prefer too warm to too wet and cold. I like the rain, but I don't like cold, wet feet in January.
I have to
That's not
say,
nice.
well, we've kind of agreed. Every trip we've ever taken to Disneyland Paris has been magical in its own way. We've enjoyed all of them. We've not regretted any of them. But of all our brilliant trips, our least favourite was possibly the January one, and it was the temperature, really. But we were a week after all the Christmas came down, but the other things hadn't started to happen, so there was really nothing to lift it. December was freezing, but it was dry, and Christmas just makes it just changes how you look at everything when everything's so beautiful and lit up and exciting. The music's playing.
Wasn't Small World shut when you went in January as well? Or did you get on it once or something? I seem to remember.
Maybe. And then did it go down the day after? We got on the first day, and then the day
Yeah, I
after
think-
it went
yeah, I
after.
think it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which obviously that's going to mess with you as well, Lucy.
Wasn't that the time
Yeah.
I recorded the new Small World music?
Yeah.
Because in the video for that, we seem to be wrapped up warm.
Oh, Hugh,
Yeah.
when all our technology's working again, you'll have to send me that audio file so we can start introducing it on the show a bit more often. I quite like that.
Yeah, the thing is about that, I deliberately, like, if everyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I posted a video of I called it awful new Small World music to sort of deliberately get some clicks, and yes, some people hated it. And it's just me doing like an awful version of the music.
I love it.
There's a bit where
it's
I
my
go-
favourite version.
There's a bit where I go.
Mark Chester said, experiencing all 4 seasons at DLP in 1 year could be a great to-do thing. Oh, I would love to do that, and I had thoughts about that, Mark. Thing is, it's then defining the seasons, because they used to do the swing into spring seasons. Spring used to be a season. And then you'd have Halloween and Christmas, and they'd have Frozen Summer Fun, I think they had at the time. But now that kind of spring, summer as seasons have gone a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Pops.
Do you know what? Lucas wrote a song when he was about 3 years old about the different seasons. And maybe if they did do this, he could write the theme tune for it. It was called Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Ormal. Ormal being when it isn't a season or festival.
Ormal.
Ormal. Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Ormal.
Obviously. That sounds
It was
good.
very cute, but absolutely awful.
Wow.
I love my kids.
Cute, but absolutely awful.
I love my kids.
Yes. We went twice in February for the Star Wars seasons. We did go for the Star Wars seasons, and I have to say that was one of my favourite nighttime shows I've ever seen. I think I shed a little tear when the Tower of Terror thing happened. But I think it's gone now, hasn't it? It's died a death. They did say it was the final one, unfortunately. Anyway, thing is, seasons are not seasons at the moment because of the last 18 months has been so odd. They really fudged together some seasons. They're just trying to save what they could this year, so I don't think we can take it for granted. I think it'll be another 18 months, maybe in 2023.
Didn't Mark mean experiencing just all 4 seasons as in spring, summer, autumn and winter?
Yes, I think he did,
so.
but it's not. But it used to be defined as such.
Right, okay.
You used to be able to visit knowing you were at this time, whereas now it's not. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Okay, let's move on.
Wow.
Move on to what?
I think it'll be 2023 before you see your regular 5 or 6 seasons, like, you know, Summer of Superheroes, Jungle Book and Festival and all that stuff. I think it'll be 2023 before you see that gets back to any kind of calendar we recognise. 2022 will be, I think they'll just lean into the 30th because, again, I don't think that they're going to be in a position to just go hell for leather on developing, because, I mean, they did go up to like 4 or 5 different in fact 5 or 6 things if you include what was going on in the studios as well in 2019. So it'll be a while, but that's all right. That's okay. It's just nice to see new things happen.
Yeah. Have you been watching the castle recently? Have you seen on the Inside DLP
it's
castle
naked
Facebook
from the
page
top
how
down, but it's still got its
slow
its
strip tease of the castle.
People weren't sure if they'd want to go and see it when it had all that hoarding up. And right now, if you go and see it, it looks like a building site. So I think if you did go then, you kind of got the sweet spot. It's great if you're there every day and you can see the changes happening all the time. Then it's probably quite a fascinating thing to see, but it's not much of a sight at the moment. It looks like it's in its underwear.
I think it almost evens out at the moment because when it was in a box, it was interesting, but it was still in a box. But now the scaffolding, but you can see half of it, which I think is comparable to it just being in a box. Yeah, I think because at least you can see the top of it and stuff.
Yeah, and it seems to be getting closer and closer, doesn't it, to finding itself or whatever.
Yeah.
The big reveal.
I'm so sorry. Mark Chester has asked, you may have already mentioned it, but is there any news on Run Disney? No news on Run Disney. However, there is also no news on it being a virtual race, which they have done with other events. So I think that's good news. I think we would be in the window of them. They were meant to have a May Princess run, weren't they, in 2020? And I think we would have heard that was going virtual or something. So I think there's potential.
Interestingly, if you a quick Google of this, take you to one of probably many different sites where you can book it all in. Sportstoursinternational.co.uk say it is coming back in September 2022, but there's no confirmed dates yet for it. So they must be expecting it to come back next year, even though it hasn't been officially announced yet.
I can't see any well, I'm not going to put an opinion on that. I'm going to say I can't see any reason why not, but what did I say this time last year?
I hope it does, because the whole reason I started running was in the hope that this would happen at some point. So if it doesn't, it'll all be for naught.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any more questions? And while you ask that, I've got a few backup questions that I want to ask people in the chat and also my co-hosts.
Go on,
okay. If you had to redecorate a room in your house entirely in the style of a DLP ride or attraction, which room would it be and which ride?
Ooh.
/ attraction?
Ooh. I would go for the closet underneath my stairs, and I'd make it into the Liberty Arcade little thing to do with the Eiffel Tower. How cool would that be?
Kudos.
Just anyone could go in. It's always playing. You just walk straight in there and you can learn about it all in French.
But it wouldn't be a through thing, would it? So I'm not getting into details.
It doesn't need to be. It'd be absolutely fine. It would work. It would work really, really well, I think. I might do it, actually. It feels like something I could achieve quite easily.
If I was going to do that, I think I would do Aladdin's Passage. Specifically, the big gold coin mountain scene. Because I don't think I could get more than that.
That'd be nice.
Claire Alexander says Pirate's Bathroom. Down with that.
I can't decide.
Also, I think, the Skull and Crossbones, when you're waiting to get off the ride and there's always bumper cars with the boats in front and you're waiting, what does he say?
Don't go rocking the boat.
You'd have to...
Please remain seated until a crew member asks you to stand. Something like that.
You'd have to have that at the foot of your bath, wouldn't you? I mean, no-brainer.
What about doing your staircase, though? Instead of your bathroom, do your staircase, and you get all like the explosion scene when you go on that drop. You could just do the whole thing like that with all the lights and everything. That'd be pretty cool.
No, I was thinking that I was thinking similar with the staircase, Chris, but I was thinking the ride lift at the beginning where you've got the ropes going up the side, and then you've got a smoke tunnel, and you've got Lovejoy. Would you want Lovejoy or would you want Bill Nighy?
It don't matter what you want, you're getting Lovejoy.
I know I do. I do the front garden as small as that patch is to look like the side of the castle with the square trees.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you, though? Will you do that? We do already
David Wilson's made a really good point, by the way. He says that your house is already Disneyfied anyway. Looking around my living room, I'm surrounded by Mickeys and Disney Lego. Yep.
There was a rule that it could go anywhere but the living room in our house originally, but it's really snuck into the living room in a few themed things on a shelf.
I don't
but
mind it
the
being
bedroom's gone.
I don't mind it themed in like the way that some of the resort hotel, the resort rooms are. That kind of like themed, but not, it doesn't have to have Mickey everywhere and stuff like that.
We've got if you ever go in our living room, we've got a serious mid-century modern / tiki vibe in there anyway. And in fact, all the furniture we got at antique shops and antique fairs, and it's all 70s kitsch stuff. So it really is quite like the Polynesian anyway, and that's not where we were going. It just accidentally happened because that's.
It was a natural occurrence. Yeah. I love your sitting room, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
I wish we could have something similar in our wing.
in your side.
I like it when you let me come over and see it.
Yeah. It does mean that all our furniture is old and second-hand and slightly questionable springs in the sofas and things like that, but...
Character, that is. It's character.
Characterful. A ratatouille kitchen. Everything would be humongous, Mark Chester. That's an amazing idea.
Would you have to make humongous food then, though, as well? Would you have to make food that was massive?
You could just, roast a chicken at Christmas and it'd last you till August, couldn't you? David's surrounded by Mickey's and Disney logos. I'm not going to lie. We are a bit like that in our house. But like Hugh says, we do try to keep it to the more thematic, tasteful stuff, but there's a lot of Mickeys.
Our sitting room's probably the opposite to you, which is that's where most of our Disney stuff is. We've got some pictures in our downstairs toilet. We've got little subtle things around the kitchen that you can't really notice. But then in the sitting room, we've got the Lego castle and we've got the Sleeping Beauty castle picture up on the wall as well. And we've got cushions and things. So there's a lot of Disney in there. And if you go in my office, it's just full, but in a really cluttered, disorganized, horrible kind of way.
Yeah, our office is like that as well, in a Disney kind of cluttered, organised way.
Favourite in-park breakfast place, says Mark. Mark Riley.
I can't answer that because the only place I've ever eaten is the Hyperion Calf place.
Well,
yeah.
And I thought it was awful.
Where else is there?
It was fine. I didn't think it was awful, but it was included in the meal plan, and we were like, this is free food, let's go get it, and we were grateful to have free food.
Where else can you have breakfast?
We've had character breakfast in Plaza Gardens.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Yeah.
Starbucks croissant in the village.
Yeah, the village is where most of your options are, and your hotels. You've got Earl of
Hotels
Sandwich.
are brilliant.
Yeah, you've got all your buffets at the hotels. You've got Earl of Sandwich. You've also got Annette Stew.
In park.
What is close to a fry up.
In park.
I know. Okay, but in park, I would say Plaza Gardens character breakfast. Then your only other option really is to do the bakery.
Yeah.
But I would, if I wasn't doing it in the hotel or in the village, I'd skip proper breakfast and I'd go and get a waffle at about 10 personally. Because I don't think the options are terribly good in park. I'd be snacking.
Nutella waffle.
A Nutella waffle.
Or Laughing
Specifically,
Cow.
I would like to get a... No. Nutella Darth Vader waffle from Cooling Port, is it called? That's opposite Buzz Lightyear's.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean, don't you?
They often run out of things, though. What were they not even doing them last time? They weren't, were they?
No.
We went there for the waffle for the Darth Vader waffles, and they didn't have any. So we thought, we'll get the Han Solo biscuit and what's the other one? And a Wookiee cookie, and they didn't have any. They were doing Mickey and Minnie biscuits.
It's so unusual because they're usually really good with snacks in Disneyland Paris, aren't they?
You can just hear my voice.
Yeah.
You're just so used to it now. It's like, well,
here he comes.
Yeah.
Speaking of here he comes,
you must be grumpy.
Speaking of here he comes, here's Bob Sangwell.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm late. Just got rid of visitors.
Oh, Mark.
Get them out.
Mark Riley said, we're going for extra magic hours, hence skipping the hotel breakfast. I totally see that. That's why we end up in there as well. But
Do you know what, though?
Honestly, my option then, if you're going for early magic hours, is get a granola bar in your pocket because you want to get as many rides in as you can, and then do your waffle.
I don't mind the Hyperion breakfast. I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Mic drop.
It's all right. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not going to blow your socks off, but it's...
It's the queuing though. That was the thing for me. We had it once there, and then after that we thought, no, we're going to pay the extra and have breakfast in the hotel, and it was just so much more worth it.
Maybe I've been when it's not been too busy though.
But yeah, the queue, we were 25, 30 minutes, I think, waiting for the food, and then
I don't remember us having that.
It's just disappointing.
Problem. We've paid for it once, I think, and we've got it on a dining plan where we did it for the whole week.
I'll tell you what is a pain is it was only a small queue, but having to go back because they haven't given you all your food and having to sort of join the queue, and then they look at you. And isn't it annoying when you go back to someone and they've forgotten you? They've forgotten who you are. Like, at the laughing, what's it called? The truck?
Laugh and Go.
The Laugh and Go.
Food truck.
When I'd literally just bought something, and then when I went to say, where is it? They were like, join the queue, please. And I was like, but I've already been here.
No,
but it was like that hype here, and I went back for something, and they just looked at me like, what? I was like, I was here 5 minutes ago, please. I want my food.
Mark Riley says, Market Deli. I'm not sure Market Deli's open for breakfast. I was actually meaning the Cable Car Bakery, which definitely is open for breakfast because we've done that as well. Croissants and cookies and things. It might be. You can look on the app. Don't know. Don't think it was when we were there. Mark Chester says, most wanted expensive merch you have seen but didn't want to take out a second mortgage to buy. I'm going to delve in and say mine will definitely have been jewellery because I always look at just tiny little Mickey head pendants or something. They had a really good haunted mansion, like the logo of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, the HTH thing. And I always look and go, oh yeah, that looks like it probably costs €20. And it always costs 200. And then I go, ugh. But that would be mine.
I can't pick a specific one, but there's so much stuff in the art shop in the village that I would quite happily hang on my wall.
I'm thinking in there, Chris. I'm thinking of the metal build it yourself haunted mansion kit.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So the other thing that I really liked, I'm sure we talked. Did we talk about gifts we would buy for each other if money wasn't? Not was it at one point?
We did a Christmas episode, and it was like a 3-tier thing, wasn't it?
That's the Star Tours model to me is brilliant, and the Tower of Terror model as well just looks absolutely fantastic, but they're ridiculously expensive. So something like that. But also the other thing, not quite so expensive, but definitely not to me worth what it costs, was the up cups. Do you remember those? It were like a totem pole.
Yeah.
They were really, really nice. But
the up cups.
Like up cups. It wasn't up, was it? Yeah, it was up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were just a really nice design, but I think they were €50 or something. And to quote you, Hugh, at €20 like them. I don't €50 like them.
Yeah. The Dunn family have said, when are you going to DLP next? Well, Chris is going...
February.
Hugh and I have nothing booked at the moment. I have 100% got my eye on, even worked out, looked at flights logistically, going for the 30th anniversary in April, but I personally am hoping to get before then as well. But it's time and money, people. And if one wasn't an option, it wasn't a problem, I would probably bend the other. But with both of them being a problem, I can't at the moment. But I'm hoping I'd love to maybe get for a couple of days during the Christmas period, but work looks like it's in the way.
Do you know, Lucy, what the actual crack is with travelling after COVID? Because this is one of the things I've been trying to get my head around, because you can show positive for like 90 days, sometimes longer. And all the different tests have all changed recently on this since the beginning of October and what you need to do when you're coming back and things. But I've been trying to work out and understand whether I'm not supposed to travel, whether I can travel, but there's certain things I have to do. I know, like when I get to France, for instance, that they want to see that if you have had it, that it's been in the last 6 months, then I don't think you have to provide a test anyway, do you, for things, because you've got that proof within your passport. So
when we were looking at getting tests pre-travelling, or, well, we didn't need them pre-travelling, but when we were reading all that, I know that one of the options was an antibody test. You can do a PCR or an antibody test, and if you can prove you've got antibodies, I don't know if there was a time scale on that. I haven't looked, honest.
You see,
right, okay, yeah.
They've got to be careful, haven't they? Because like it would benefit them if you've already had it, right? But
of course it would, yeah.
But they don't want to say, welcome, please, if you've had it, because people be going around licking each other. Like
chicken pox parties.
4 months before they go to Disneyland, just in case, like, please let me have it.
Yeah, we had our friends and neighbours, who you might know, Chris. They went and got us some bread in the middle of the week, so we'd run out. And when they came back, we were saying the one good thing is now we've had it. And I know they're saying that you might not have immunity after 12 months or so, but people seem to think that they are getting immunity for a decent length of time. So I was like, well, at least it's out of the way. At least we don't have to worry as much now. And we were like, do you want to come in and have a COVID party? Do you want us to lick your faces? Would you guys like it? Like to get it over and done with? They didn't like that idea.
No. Hugh, just to explain the post that you've just put in chat. So they brought you some bread, but it only had one day.
I was trying to be discreet in case he's listening, but Richard went out and got some bread, and I looked at it, and it had 1 day on it, and I was like, did he not? You go to the back. He had one, and I was like, "How ungrateful!" Like, is this ungrateful?
He was stony faced. Came out carrying it like this. Went, "This bread's only got 1 day on it."
I did.
So
I shouted in the kitchen. I was like, "This bread's only got 1 day on it."
So let me know then, Hugh. What did you do in the end? Did you
We just ate it.
Use that entire loaf with Laughing Cow and Nutella, or B, bung it in the freezer and take it out when you need it?
We ate like now. This thing, people. All the time are going, put it in the freezer, put it in the freezer. There's no room in the freezer for a loaf of bread. You can put it in the fridge, and that will, then you don't have to, thaw it out. And that put it in the fridge will, get you like a couple more days out of it. In the end, we just used it all. But it was a surprise that, it had 1 day on it. Because I will find if there's one loaf of bread with 1 day on it more than any other bread in the entire shop, I'll find that bread. I will find it.
He takes great pride in it as well.
I've seen Lucy just grabbing one right off the front, and I go, whoa, what are you doing? You look. You note that date, then you look at another one, and then another one.
This is one of the ways in which this marriage has changed me. Because now I can't do that anymore. Improved me.
Who doesn't want bread that lasts for, Like sometimes I'll come home and I'll be like, I got a great day on some bread today. And I'll be like, look at this. It lasts for 8 days. That's over a week.
Oh, wow.
Right, the Dunn family.
We'll have to wrap up soon.
I know. Want to go for the 30th, a sneaky trip between November and the big one to Disney World in August. So if I can find the pennies, I might do the 12th of April. As we just missed the 25th by 1 day. Now, the thing is, with the 12th of April, they haven't released the blackout dates for annual passes for next year. And normally the 12th of April generally wouldn't be on it, but in the 30th year it might be, and our annual passes might not work, and we won't pay extra to go. And the information we have is that Avengers Campus will be opening on the 25th of March. There's a very, very strong rumour. Can't remember if we ever spoke about that.
We did, yeah. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so the 25th of March is the strong day for that. So if we can't go on the 12th, we will go in that run-up period to be amongst the first people in Avengers Campus. I think that would be really exciting. If not, on the opening day of Avengers Campus, if we can find out with enough time to spare to book that and sort it. Or if they're doing annual pass previews, we might do a last minute thing. I'm not sure if the 12th is... It's feasible for other reasons. It's school holidays, it's our wedding anniversary and all this kind of thing. The day before is anyway. But I think it'll be a blackout day. I am tempted to just book something on Expedia with free cancellation though, just to see. And like you, we've got a Walt Disney World trip booked for May, the end of May, beginning of June. So this would be our kind of in-betweeny trip, basically.
Warm-up trip.
Warm-up.
Appetizer.
But what a warm-up trip. If we could get the opening, either the opening of Avengers Campus or the 30th and Avengers Campus or any connotation of that, it would be amazing.
If you did get to go on the 12th and you were really lucky, you might get to go and storm the castle and nothing happened. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
If it's anything like if it's anything like the 50th, that has told me something. But
yeah, lower your expectations.
There's a different vibe going on in the American parks at the moment. There's discontent, shall we say. And they're used to insurrections over there. Beware them. Anyway, shall we wrap this up?
Yeah. Can I just ask you guys a question?
Yes.
Pending technical hiccups and stuff, are we going all Halloween next week? Because I guess we're going to do Halloween special for the classics next week because we're behind with classics and we did put them out of order and all kinds of stuff. It's just been a bit of a mare with that show recently, hasn't it? But we're going to do the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is going to be quite fun. Mm-hmm. But I thought, I know we've already talked about Halloween on this show, but are we going to try and do something Halloweeny next week?
Yes. I don't know what.
Because I think we did talk about, and again, I'm talking about this live on the show rather than talking about it offline, but we all really like Halloween, don't we?
Yeah.
In 2 weeks' time, it actually falls on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And we have kids who want to trick or treat and all that sort of stuff. So it might be that we have a later show that week, I think. Does that sound right?
It could be a later show.
As in like a Monday or something. Instead of the actual Sunday, yeah.
So the proper Halloween show is next week for us, isn't it?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to think of something spooky to do. And listeners and viewers, go back and check out our Phantom Manor deep dive that we did last year.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to listen to that this week. I really enjoyed doing that show. I'm going to do it. That's what I'm going to do.
And I did a campfire telling of the story of Thunder Mesa.
You did.
I've actually trimmed that out, so you can probably find that somewhere on our channel, can't you? Just search for 37 Disney Street Phantom Manor. I'm sure you'll find it.
As I have previously moaned about, I had a really mental 2 weeks at work, which culminated in me mistaking being dreadfully tired for having COVID. But I couldn't continue to edit my Disneyland Paris vlogs because I was just so busy and then so tired. But because I had this unexpected week off work where I was trapped in the house, I did manage to get my Pirate Afternoon vlog up where we visited Captain Jack's. So the Captain Jack vlog is up if you want to watch that, and I will make sure I use the last 3 days of quarantine to edit the next one. And I think the next one is our resort day for Village Nature. So that's going to be a little bit different. It's kind of like a hotel review, that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we're going to do something special next week. Because, thinking back to that episode of Phantom Manor,
I'll probably wear this jumper again if I'm honest.
Something special.
I'll make sure we've got some Halloween-y music to underscore the whole thing as well, if everything's going to plan.
I could botch together a Melanie Ravenswood Disney bound. We'll see. Oh, I know we're wrapping up. Someone earlier said, where do you get your Disney bounding ideas? It was Cheryl, I think, and we were chatting about something else. I do skirt Pinterest a lot, but the longer I've done it, I know what outfits are comfortable to wear in parks, particularly in the hot weather. So I've got like some pantsuits, and then I just think, right, I've got a grey pantsuit. What can that be? It can be Dumbo, it can be Thumper. And I've started doing it a bit backwards. But I do go on Pinterest a lot for ideas. Other than that. Right.
Good.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up now. So thank you all very much for joining us. Check out the Captain Jack's vlogs. We're going to be far more professional looking next week. There's no reason why we shouldn't
we won't be pressure on us.
We won't be sat in front of aqua blue horrible curtain.
Yeah.
Well, and if we are, I'll
Chris
be
will
there
be
as
here.
well.
Yeah. There's no reason why we shouldn't all be sat in our various ride vehicles looking absolutely glorious next week. With pumpkins and various other Halloween things. We might have some Nutella and Laughing Cow treats. Let's see how the week goes. So I hope you're going to join us for that. It will definitely be a fun one. We'll all be grateful for it. You've been fabulous in the chat today. Thank you for making this show a show, because we came into it with nothing. We've gone out with happy hearts. But for now, thank you very much, 37 Disney Street Bands. We will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, we have to stop this stream now.
Bye.
Well, well, well.